Hello, my fellow YouTubers. Have you ever wondered about a situation you've been in? I was just thinking about this the other day whenever it comes to being in control of your time. A lot of people get the wrong idea when it comes to a situation. Just think about people that I work with, and sometimes they get irritated about where they get placed in the job. I'm just like, well, okay, a lot of times, a lot of people are put in situations that they don't have control over, and they choose to spend that time being miserable, and I couldn't really wrap my head around that. You can actually alter that. You don't always have control over what situation you're in, but you always have control over how you handle it. So it's not about controlling the situation, it's about being able to control any situation. So I want you to think about that whenever you start to analyze your life, when it comes to things that happen day to day, situations you get stuck in. I don't know, traffic is a good example. Everyone has to drive on the street. It's just the shared property. The way I see it now, opposed to how I used to see it, is wouldn't it make more sense to spend the time sitting in traffic doing something you would enjoy, listening to a good song or a podcast or something? If you think about it, that really makes a lot more sense. And if you're at work and you don't have the luxury of picking where you want to work or what you want to do, you just have to step back a minute and realize I might not be able to control like where I get put, but I have control over how I handle it. So let me break that down to make more sense. Instead of getting put in a position that you hate and spending all of that time being miserable and creating fumes for an individual that don't even know how you feel or could care less, say the boss, because it's their job to facilitate everyone into a position just to get the job done. That's work. I mean, that's what it is. You're not working for yourself, you're working for someone else. And in their head, they see it logically. They need people to do certain tasks to get the job done. Like I wrote in my book, The Beginner's Guide to Cultivating Inner Peace. I just finished it, it's posted. I wrote in there something about situations, not being able to control them, but being able to control them on your own terms. Whereas you spend that time how you would like. And it's a little kind of tough for people to understand that, because I'm not just talking about work, I'm talking about like anything. When it comes to anything you do, you're always going to be put in a situation that you didn't create, that you didn't have anything to do with. So would you rather spend that time being miserable about it? Would you rather spend the time enjoying yourself, making the best of it? I also wrote down in my book about being able to not take how people treat you as a personal attack and spitting it out on other people. It's not always about what's going on the outside, it's about how you handle it, which seems like common sense to me now, because that's just how I handle every situation. Some people don't see it that way, because you don't always have control over how people treat you. But is that a good excuse to, I don't know, go home and take it out on your family and then blame your boss for belittling you? Come on. Seriously, guys, come on. This video is not gonna be too in-depth. I just wanted to give you some thoughts to think about. Things along the lines of situations, and not judging it too harshly about what you're doing, but more how you're doing it. What you do is important when it comes to your own personal goals, but if it comes to things you don't have control over, it's always better just to kind of take it lightly. So what, the boss put me in this position that I hate with all these people that I hate. Use that as a learning experience. You know what I mean? Like, you come in contact with someone who's always negative, use that as a learning experience to get reflect on yourself of how negative you've been. Learn to be more grateful for things, and then you can learn to be more positive. Don't forget to do that. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out The Beginner's Guide to Cultivating Inner Peace.
Thank you.
wrote in there many things about how to point out negative thought patterns, putting a label to them, being able to understand what thought pattern actually is existing in you, like jumping to conclusions and overgeneralizing, stuff like that. Once you're able to pick out the faulty pattern that you're having, you'll be able to change it better. So then you point it out and then realize, okay, so if this is how I think, if I'm always jumping to conclusions, maybe I should take a step back and think about the situation better. Or if I have this all or nothing attitude all the time, I should probably learn to add more shades of gray. With that being said, like and subscribe. Stick around for more mindfulness exercises.